If you're a salesman and you don't know how to close, you're not going to make any money. You're going to be destitute. And it's the same way when it comes to talking to women. If you don't know how to close, you're not going to be able to get any dates, and you're obviously not going to be able to have sex. And I see so many mistakes that guys are making when it comes to closing. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to teach you how to properly close and some of the mistakes that guys are making that they could easily adjust and they would have much better results. So I go on Instagram, I go on TikTok, and you might have seen these videos of guys picking up girls. Here's an example. So he'll see some drunk 19-year-old girl and he'll use this pickup line like, "Hey, excuse me, did it hurt? Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?" And then she'll laugh. He'll give her another compliment, and then he'll immediately try to get her phone number with another corny pickup line. So he'll be like, "Hey, can you hold my phone for a second?" And then she'll hold it and he'll be like, "All right, go ahead, put your phone number in." And that's it. That's the whole pickup. But the problem with these videos is they're very misleading. If you're newer into game or you don't have so much experience with doing cold approach, you would think that these guys are absolutely killing it, getting tons of girls' phone numbers, and then you might actually go out and then do this style of pickup of game where you're basically just spending 30 seconds doing memorized pickup lines, getting their number, and then running away. The problem with this is, just from my experience of approaching a bunch of women, just getting a girl's number doesn't technically mean anything. Girls will give their phone number out just to ease off the pressure because they're in a lot of tension when you're just trying to get their number within 30 seconds. So they'll oftentimes just give you their number, walk away, and then you'll text them, they won't text you back. So the number won't be as strong. And why is this? Well, I mean, it's obvious you used just these recorded pickup lines that weren't original, they weren't unique to her. It's kind of obvious you're just doing this little hustle. Also, you haven't built up any attraction. You haven't built any sort of connection with the girl. You've just managed to get her number. She probably won't even remember you. This sort of approach especially doesn't make any sense in a nighttime environment, which is a lot of times what I see these guys doing their pickup videos, and they'll be in the nighttime environment and then going out getting 20 girls' phone numbers. But the truth is, you can talk to a girl in a nighttime environment and then pull her that same night. But these guys aren't doing that at all. So if you're in a bar, and if you're in a club, the most optimal close is obviously bringing the girl home. That's the first thing that you should be going for, or that should be your top priority. After you have sex with a girl, the power dynamic is in your favor, and then she has to try to impress you and then keep you as a boyfriend. If you're just out in the club collecting phone numbers, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage. You're making the decision for the girl that they don't want to come home with you. You're just out there basically wasting your time. Obviously, in a day game environment, you're not going to be really pulling girls home. It's possible, but if you meet a girl at the gym, manage to bring her home, that's just insane. That just sounds like fantasy. So most of the time in a day game, what you can do sometimes is take her on an instant date. And that's really good because the more time you spend with a girl, the more of a connection she's gonna have with you. So ideally, you wanna be spending 10 minutes talking to a girl you just met on the street. You wanna be spending 30 minutes if she has time to take her on an instant date. When you break up with a girl after dating her for years, it hurts a lot more than breaking up with a girl you just met last week. Why is that? It's simply for the fact that you spent so much more time with this girl, so you start getting emotionally invested. It becomes like a habit. It becomes like a daily routine for you. So it's the same way, just when you're in an interaction with a girl, you're gonna build more of a connection with her in 30 minutes than you do in 2 minutes. It's just how it is. So obviously I'm not saying here that you want to be trying to spend an entire day with a girl that you just met, but you want to maximize the time that you have and you want to be patient. And this is a lot harder for guys who are newer. I remember when I first started approaching girls and I basically could only talk for about 30 seconds because I was too nervous. I actually wanted to get out of the situation. So I would use getting the number as an out just because I was an inexperienced beginner. But the problem with that is because I didn't just accept the awkwardness, just take it and learn from it, it made it harder for me to gain experience. So if you just kind of let yourself stay in there longer in the beginning, it's gonna be awkward, but you're just gonna gain experience so much faster, and you're also just gonna probably get better results in the beginning. So the more time that you spend with a girl, the better odds that you have of actually closing her, whether it's getting her number, planning a date, or actually just like taking her home, if you're doing the right things. In an ideal situation, you'll be able to read the fact that a girl is interested in you after you've talked to her for a little bit, and you're gonna be able to pick up on these indicators of interest. She's gonna be asking you personal questions. She might be trying to impress you. She might be kind of doing flirtatious stuff with her hair, whatever, looking at you seductively. And that's stuff that you'll pick up on, and that's the ideal situation. But the way that you would even get these indicators of interest in the first place is you have to be doing the right stuff in the interaction. So you have to be getting the girl to qualify herself. You have to be flirting with the girl. You have to be sort of seeding an idea of you guys being together or a future date. But basically, once you've spent ample time with her that you're able to kind of tell that she's able to be closed, that's when you want to do an assertive close. So the worst thing that you can do in a close with a woman is be wishy-washy and do it in an unconfident way. So for example, if I said to the girl, hey, it would be great if we would like kind of hung out another time. What do you think? Would that be fun? Or something just like not to the point. Instead, what I like to do is called the assertive close. So I would like to tell her to give me her number, or I will tell her that we should do an activity together. So for example, I'll be like, so hey, do you like coffee? And if she says yes, which is like 80% of the time, I'm saying, okay, great, let's get coffee this Friday. And then I'll just pull out my phone number, I'll pull out my phone and I'll say, go ahead, give me your number. So this just makes it very easy for the girl to make a decision, because I'm not asking her like, hey, would you maybe wanna like get some coffee? Can I have your number, please? I'm not like asking her. I'm coming from sort of a place of high status where I feel like I'm entitled to getting her number, and I just assume that it's gonna happen. And you would be amazed, this works wonders because it just shows that you're confident. Once again, it just shows that you feel like you're entitled to getting what you want out of women. And this is the same as sales. When I used to work for a door-to-door sales company and I was about to sign up a lead, I would literally just pull out a lead sheet in the clipboard and I'd be like, all right, what's your number? What's your name? I would just assume that they're gonna say yes, and I would have a pretty good close rate. I was actually very good at sales. If you've reached the point in the approach where you've already sort of planned a date, you didn't just get her number because you wanted to text her later. You got the number specifically because you guys might be going on a date or you've explicitly planned something together. Once you've done that and you've gotten her number, what you don't want to do is immediately just run away. And this is a mistake I used to make in sales also. I would get a lead and then I would just run away from the homeowner. And then when we called them up to do the appointment, they wouldn't answer. Rather than if I stayed for an extra 5 minutes to build some rapport, the rate just went up very much. So it's the same with women. Once again, sales, women, very similar. And what you want to do is you want to continue to flirt with her or ask open-ended questions after you've gotten her number. Because at that point, you're actually talking to a girl who you have plans with. You're not talking to a stranger anymore. So the conversation means more. And also you're showing that it wasn't just a game trick that you pulled. You didn't just come approach her just to get her number and run away. So she's gonna think you're a pickup artist if you just do that. So in conclusion, don't be the guy who just tries to get the number in 30 seconds because he's too nervous and he wants to get out of there. It's not about getting the number, it's about getting into the girl's head, kind of, in a good way, and establishing a connection with her, making her trust you, being flirty, and then spending some time with her, and then closing her with the assertive close. So that's what it's all about, man. You don't want to just rush it. It's going to show that you're confident. It's going to show that you have social skills when you're able to be patient and flirt with her, get her to qualify. It's just going to help you have much more success. Now, if you want to take your game to the next level and you want to learn kind of all the psychological triggers that women react to, go ahead, join my free men's community. Right now I'm offering free live calls with me, and I just have a community of guys in there who are also on this journey together. So the link for that is in the description, and it is completely free. So I hope y'all enjoyed, and let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video about what to say in the middle of the interaction to help you sort of build a connection with the girl, get her attracted to you.